Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. Okay, so here's the thing. I've read some of the comments because when I'm talking about this whole custody thing with Douglas and Thomas and Hope, you know, it helps to have a little bit of a brief history. So I really appreciate that. You know, going into this whole thing, I need people to understand something. When I'm watching this, I'm still watching this as a new viewer. Okay, I wasn't around when all Thomas is acting all sorts of cuckoo and just running amok. And there was a reason why Hope was taking care of Douglas. And I feel like in a lot of ways, it's like that type of context kind of helps. So when I'm talking about this stuff, I'm coming from a perspective of a new viewer just kind of watching it. Yeah, I have the back history because of my amazing, lovely subscribers. But I am still coming across this as a new person, so to speak, with this whole thing. I'm going to say some stuff that probably a lot of people won't like. That's a bit of a fair warning. The way that Hope, the way that Hope was whining and complaining, just as the very thought of Thomas maybe want to take custody of Douglas. I'm not saying that she's being evil. I'm not saying that she's being vindictive or anything like that. So let's not go there. And she does sit there and acknowledge that he does, have a right to do that. But it just, and maybe this has nothing to do with it about my comment. But fathers do actually have rights. And I don't know, just maybe hearing her just go on and on and on and on and on about, oh, I'm not going to be able to see him. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. He had to sit there and come over there whenever he wants to sit there and see Douglas. You're making it seem like you're not going to be able to make the same concessions as he did when he came over there to see Douglas. Okay, you know exactly what Eric's house is at. Okay? So I don't understand why you can't go over there. Oh, routine. I get it. Okay? I get it to some extent. I'm not a mother, so I can't sit there and say I fully get it. But I understand that, you used to seeing him, he's in a stable home and it's the place that he grew up and he loved and stuff like that. And I understand that upheaval is a lot. Okay. So I get that. But, that comment really bothered him. And it should bother him. You know what I mean? Yeah, granted he's a kid and things like that's going to wind up happening. But it made him realize, like, listen, I'm in a more stable place. And I think that you should sit there and live with me now. Um, and it's not like he's flying, I don't know, to Genoa City or anything like that. He's still going to be in LA. You know exactly where he lives. So what's the problem? I don't get it. Um, by the way, I don't remember exactly where he's going to be living at. I think he said Granddad's place, which is Eric's place. So it's not really that far, but I could be wrong. I don't know. So she goes on and on about that. Liam tries to calm her down. Deacon sees. He goes in there and, he's all team hope and he's like, oh, well, you want me to sit there and talk to him? I'm like, Deacon, what do you plan on doing? Using some sort of Cobra Kai or something? And that was a bad joke, okay? But it was a joke if you know what I'm talking about. I heard he's actually going to be back in the show. It's great. It's great. I love it. Um, He's all like, maybe I should talk to him, and he just doesn't understand, like, why is he just deciding to do this now? Like what's going on now? So they're talking about that. Brooke comes over and tells all of them that Sheila is dead. Now, of course, obviously, Deacon knows that, Sheila's alive. I look at that whole thing like the first body that Sheila drops, guess who's going to be responsible for that? Not just Sheila, Deacon. So what that's going on, they're wrapping up their conversation at Forrester's creation with Steffi and Finn and Lee and probably Brooke and Eric, Thomas, or maybe Thomas came in later. I don't remember. There was so many damn people in there. So they finished up their conversation, and I mean, I don't know how sensitive they were being, because Steffi was like, well, I'm sorry, like, because she was like, oh, well, this nightmare's over and Sheila's dead and yada, yada, yada. Oh, I'm sorry. I know she's your birth mom and everything like that. And he's like, no, 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 no. This nightmare's over. Finn, it is actually okay to feel something. Some semblance of sadness. It doesn't have to be a whole lot. I mean, damn, yeah, I get it. He didn't just shoot you, but he shot the mother of your child. So I get not going into full-blown tears, but I guess that's as much sympathy as we're gonna get from that character. So then after that, I haven't watched, I haven't seen Steffi in a while, and you know what I forgot about her? That woman can talk. When she talks, she does not shut up. And when she talks, she wants to make sure that she gets her point across. You better understand. Okay, she literally comes out, she's like, oh, by the way, mom and dad kiss. So, about my life experience, about, almost dying and everything like that, you can't take life for granted. I think you should just be together. I mean, come on, just be together. Just do it. Come on. Like, oh man, how much I miss this? How much did I miss Steffi and Thomas pushing those two back together? Never mind the fact that, he's still a married man, and she's not saying anything on the contrary, and he's just being the usual POS that he is. I want to sit there and remind every single woman that is watching this channel, you're sharing this and you're watching this for the first time, I want you to know I've spoken to all the men around the world. We don't claim him, okay? He does not represent us, okay? He represents, well, we all know who he represents. We don't claim him. That's my point. It always amuses me every time I go, like, on Instagram. I'm always on Instagram. And, I go to the actress that plays Brooke. I go to the actress that plays Taylor, and all like Team Steffi. Team Taylor and Team Brooke. And like, you know what? All three of those people deserve each other. Maybe you should move to one of those places where you can have multiple wives. I'm pretty sure they made a show about that. Because all three of them just belong together. They all belong together. I think they should find a way. If I had my way, they should find a way to just be all together. Okay? This way, Brooke doesn't have to worry about hurting anyone. Rich doesn't have to worry about hurting anyone. And Taylor could just sit there and not hurt anyone because, no other man can apparently measure up to Ridge. Yeah, just kind of threw up in my mouth a little bit, but still. I mean, come on, you've been gone for how long, traveled the world, and tell me that you still was just like, nope, this is the type of guy I want to be with. The guy who clearly can't make up his mind, who is sitting there playing me and this other chick, and has been doing that for years. So I'm holding out hope. I'm not seeing anyone else. I don't want to see anyone else other than That man, who I kissed multiple times, is still married. Is that how that sentence sounds? I mean, I'm doing this in a jokingly manner, but I'm like, how the hell is anyone actually room for these characters? At least for those three characters. How? I guess I must have missed something somewhere. Owen Lee comes to see Dollar Bill, and she thanks him for everything. Understands that he has this very rough reputation. Um, kind of miss those days. I mean, I wasn't around for them, but I heard they were really great. Um, but she really thanked him for his kindness and just going out of his way and everything like that. And also told him that Sheila's dead. Yep, she pulled the job. At this point, I don't even have to sit there and say it. Um, and I think that's actually about it. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like that's about it. At least all the pertinent information. Now, I know I didn't do Y&R tonight. I'm still going to be watching it. I'm still going to be sitting there doing them every now and then. I just have to sit there and find a way to either, um, well, one, just in general, I need to sit there and get more sleep. And two, there's a lot of times where it's like I get out of work, GH, days, B&B is like 18 minutes. So that's literally the easiest review to do. Um, it's like when you get into Y&R, it's like honestly, tell you the truth, Y&R in a lot of ways is more difficult than GH in days. Definitely more difficult than GH, and GH just throws in characters. But Y&R, it's like they just operate on a different speed, and it's like I get out of work. I've been up since like 3:30 in the morning. I feel like sometimes this may not be the best version of me as far as doing a review. And if you've been watching the channel for a while, or if you're new to the channel, I don't just put out a view, put out a video, a review for views and stuff like that, just to put it out there. When I put it out there, because I enjoy it, and I enjoy the interaction that I have with people who watch, who comment. It's more interesting if they're reading the comments. When I'm really that tired and I'm just like watching it, it's like it's not so much that I don't enjoy it. I just know that I'm not going to be able to put out anything that's good, you know. So I'm still going to be doing them from time to time. But I figure, I figure I just say that instead of just putting in another post. Oh, I'm not going to be doing a review because I'm like super tired. It's like, um, I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, I think the best days for me to do my reviews is when I'm actually off. I mean, to do all, Y&R and all Florida reviews is when I'm off. That's when I have the most amount of energy. I can just have all day. It's just a clear schedule and it's just amazing. And one of my dreams, since I'm kind of on this ranting spree, is to be able to do this full time. Now I know it's a lot. It's a lot harder than it seems, and it's not. And even here's the thing: even if I couldn't do this full time, I like to be able to sit there and put in more time. You know, having 3 days off from work, knowing because I'm getting paid by YouTube, be amazing. But it's something I got to sit there and still build up to, and that's going to take a while. But just putting out a review and being super tired and just kind of a zombie and just feel like I'm ranting. I'm not really doing a review. It's just kind of all over the place. It's not really, it's not good. And I honestly tell you the truth, I think that really comes from one of my reviews I did on Beyond Salem. This one person was like, "Oh, it was all over the place and we were rambling and it was like the worst thing I've ever seen." And of course, I was like, "All right, cool." And I gave him another person's channel because I was like, "Yeah, I'm not dealing with that." But it did make me sit there and think, like, was that review really bad? Was I just super tired and just doing too much? you know. So things like that does kind of reevaluate what I do. 'Cause at the end of the day, I'm trying to improve. I'm always not trying to get better. I want to thank everyone for watching, especially watching the rant that I just said. But I don't, I don't even feel like it's a rant. I feel like I'm just sitting there talking to my subscribers. I'm gonna stop calling it a rant because I feel like it's kind of just downplaying what I'm saying. But I feel like it's kind of a powwow, if you will. Because since I don't really do vlogs and stuff like that, and I used to do vlogs back in the day, and I just maybe I may pick it up one day. Because sometimes I can sit there and do a review. Sometimes I like to sit there and talk and be like, "Hey, this is where I'm coming from. This is yada yada yada," just to kind of get a little more insight to me, you know. So I'm not gonna call it a review. I think I'll just call it a powwow. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. Be safe, and again, still gonna be doing YNRs, reviews and watching the show because, well, I already know the name, so that's not gonna stop. And I do like to sit there and visit and see what's going on. I don't know. I felt like today I was looking at it. It was like it was getting late. I was super tired. I was like, maybe I can take a day off of Phyllis trying to get back at a woman that caused her grief like 20 something years ago. Like you have these three women that are rich, are titans in their own right, and they're going after this one woman for stuff that happened like 20 years ago. And I'm just like, maybe this works for the people who've been watching the show for a while. And I know I can hold a grudge like there's nobody business, but I'm just like, really? Really? This is what you choose to do with your job? I mean, with your time? You're gonna go to your daughter's company and cause something that you think may work and take her down, but may also make the company look bad. And then you could just be like, hey, I'm gonna go back to my day job, which is the hotel. She can go back to, well, I don't know what the hell she was doing before. I was like, maybe I could just take a day off from that and revisit that back when I have time to sit there and watch it. I think maybe, and I will, before I go, I will sit there and say this. Brock TV, I think he needs no introductions. He mainly does GH from what I've seen. But there's a lot of times he will dabble, he'll sit there and watch B&B, he'll watch YNR, and he'll do a review on it. And in the beginning, my motto was like, once I do this, this is it. I'm not going to half-ass it. I'm not going to start doing it and stop. I don't know what Brock TV's schedule is like. What I can surmise, it seems like he does days and YNR, when he has a little extra time. And he still gets the views and people still like what he's doing, from all the comments that I read. And I think I understand why he does that now, That's not to say I'm going to stop doing the other three or whatever, but I understand why he, won't do those as consistent because it's a lot. And I'm not stopping from doing all of them. I'm just not going to, especially if I'm getting home from work and it's super late. It's like I'm not going to sit there and try to be doing a review at 11 o'clock at night, like what I'm doing right now. Just know, even if I don't do it, B&B or YNR, doesn't mean that I'm not watching it, I'm not keeping up with it, and I'm not going to sit there and never do it because it's what I do and I love it. So with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. And I will see everyone in the next video and hopefully see everyone in the live stream that I'm going to be doing on Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be a lot of fun, and hope to see everyone there. Have a great weekend.